Welcome back to Celebrity Radio. It's Alex Belfield talking to some of the world's biggest stars and some of my favourite people, and a man we've known for nearly 20 years on this show, Daniel O'Donnell. How are you?
I'm good, Alex. How are you?
Do you know, I'm delicious, and I'm not bad talking to you, because what a year it's been. Most recently, we've seen you on Strictly, and you look fabulous. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Well, I enjoyed it while it lasted. And, it was an amazing experience, but a terrifying experience at the same time. I found the Saturday night show, having to do the dance live, was just sort of took me by surprise how nervous I was, to be honest. I didn't ever anticipate that nerves were going to be my problem, and that really was my stumbling block when it came to performing the dance. And if I didn't have to dance live, and I suppose there'd be no show if that was the case, I would love to have stayed on forever. But to be honest, when I was voted off, I was not devastated. I was happy to have done it. I loved meeting everybody involved, all of the dancers and all of the people, the celebrities that were involved. We had a great time, and that was my sadness, leaving all of them and all the people that worked behind the scenes. It's certainly a wonderful experience to meet everybody.
Has this given you a flavour to get into TV more? Because you've always been very private. You've let your life stuff speak volumes about what you do, and your audiences come and see you, and that's been it. This is sort of the first reality thing you've done. Is it something you think you'll do again?
Well, not from a reality point of view, no. I can't see myself getting involved in reality TV as we see reality TV, but certainly I would love to do more television. I would love to present a show of some kind. That would be really a real joy for me to do that. But apart from what Strictly, I don't see any more reality TV for me. Now, you never say never, because there may be shows that'll come up that'll be in the same vein as Strictly, and that kind of thing. I find Strictly a very nice family orientated show, so it suited what I was about.
I first interviewed you, as I say, in the late 90s, and I've always been mesmerised by the dedication of your audience, and we've spoken about this every single year when you bring out a new CD. You've got one now called the Hank Williams Songbook, which is out today. You can get it on Amazon. It's remarkable, isn't it, how people have stuck with you, and I guess this has brought a whole new audience to your music as well.
Well, that remains to be seen. Obviously, it opens up to, there's so many people watching Strictly, so many people that probably wouldn't be that familiar, and maybe some that had no knowledge of me or what I did. So, yes, I would imagine it does, if nothing else, makes people curious as to why you were picked to be on Strictly, and what is it you do if they have no knowledge of the music I do, and maybe some will enjoy it. So yes, I mean, Strictly from a career point of view, I'm sure wasn't a bad thing. From a personal point of view, it is the most stretched I have ever been, to the point of breaking point, I have to say, with the pressure of learning the dances. 4 days, I mean, I don't think people appreciate what I hate the word celebrities, because I don't see myself as a celebrity, but that's how I have to describe everybody that's on there taking part. The difficulty in learning something in 4 days that I'm sure the pros have been dancing for years and years, some of them maybe 20, 25, 30 years, and it's like second nature to them. So for those who are not used to dancing, it is a huge ask, but one that most everybody rises to. I know there's all different levels, and some people look better than the others, but irrespective of what your ability is, to be able to get out there on a Saturday night and do any kind of shape is a wonderful thing. And in my case, I felt people would say, well, how do you find the competition? I was actually dancing against myself every Saturday night, me and the nerves.
It sounds to me like you're kind of relieved you've gone, because the pressure's off and you can get on with the album and the tour again.
Only relieved from the point of view of being so nervous, not happy to leave everybody. because it was a great experience from that point of view.
And it is a family. I mean, you are working intimately. I think this year there seems to be more drama around the show. What is it like when you're in that bubble? Do you care whether this one's knocking off that one, or this one's rumoured to be having this one's wife or husband?
That doesn't enter into to what we're doing at all. And you know, all of it really, there's no grounds for all of that writing, you know. The majority of the time, anyway, I can't say never, but I mean, and the case of what we were doing this time, I mean, there was different articles printed, and I felt bad for the people involved because, you know, I mean, I know Christina and I, they wrote about things she was saying too, but and we all were the same. When something was written, somebody said such and such, given out about somebody else, and they would come to us and say, you know, this is not, listen, don't forget about it. Don't worry about it. We know where we're at. We know what we're doing, and we know, you know, what we think of one another, and that's all that matters.
You know what's interesting? In all the time that I've known you, the many times we've met at the BBC to do chats, I've never heard anybody say a bad word about you, and I think you pride yourself on that, don't you? You have a respect for the people you work with, and you get it back.
Well, you know, I hope so. I hope that's what people feel, and, you know, I don't you know, go out of my way to do harm. I think that if you have something good to say about somebody, shout it from the top of the mountain. If you have something that's not good to say, keep it to yourself.
I agree. Let's talk about your life and how you're doing in the last year. What's been the highlight, aside from Strictly? How have you been? It's been a year since we last spoke.
Well, I've had a quiet year, really, because I suppose once Christmas passed, I started a break, albeit we did a Caribbean cruise, an Irish cruise that we've done for a few years with Gertrude Burns in February, and we'll do that again in 2017. But apart from that, other than recording the album, I really didn't do anything because we were in a break. Strictly was a huge surprise to be asked, and a show that we enjoy, you know, at home. We love watching it. So my wife said, when the question came in, will you do it? I said, oh, you know, it's in the middle of the break. It's a shame it's coming now. And she said, listen, you can take a break anytime. You might never get asked to do Strictly. So that was why I did it. So it really has been a quiet time. And the album was the only thing that I had planned to do. And the Hank Williams concept, I suppose, from my point of view, I love country music as well as all of the other type of music I sing. And Hank Williams, for those of us who love country music, Hank Williams would be really, you know, if not the father of country music, certainly one of the main people to have influenced so many. And his songs are legendary. He wrote so many. I'm sure a lot of people don't realise that Hank Williams wrote so many of the songs that we know as popular songs. So for me, it was a real labour of love. I recorded my favourites. Some of his very, very famous songs maybe are not on this album, but I just picked the ones that I love, and that's what's there.
I think Jambalaya is probably the biggest toe tapper that everybody will know, but I love how you do Wedding Bells. These songs are sort of best suited to your voice, aren't they? They're born for Daniel O'Donnell.
Well, I suppose I'm very comfortable doing them. I was, as I said, on a break before I recorded, so the recording session was very, very easy. I had no pressure, I had no time restraints on me, although it only took 4 days for me to do what I did. And that was really with the band. It was done as live. I went in with the musicians, sang the songs and left again. And it was very enjoyable.
Well, congratulations. It's a wonderful new album. This year's new album by Daniel O'Donnell. Every year he brings out a new one. This is the Hank Williams Songbook. It's out now. You can get it via Amazon. You mentioned there Majella. How's she doing, by the way? I always ask you this question.
Very well, very well. Thank God. She's just back with the oncologist a couple of weeks ago, and all systems go. Green lights all the way, and we're very grateful, and thank God.
I saw an interview that you did together recently, and it's amazing to me how in life you can have everything and then sometimes nothing. I know in the past she's suffered from depression, and again, it's amazing, isn't it, how you can be the most successful artist in the world, but it means nothing if your partner's not happy and well.
Yeah, well, in life, I suppose everybody has struggles. There's nobody that hasn't something. And, Magella, I suppose depression is something that you live with, and every so often she gets periods when she doesn't feel so good, as I'm sure people who have encountered depression can understand. I'm very fortunate in my life that I have never experienced depression, but I know when Magella is going through about how difficult it is for her, and there's very little that I or anybody else can do to help her other than, I suppose, to be there but not to be intrusive. That's how it works for her. So, we're lucky, really. In many ways, we're very fortunate to have one another, albeit that we found one another, when we were a little bit older. But, when you find the right person, all that went before, it's amazing. I didn't ever think I would meet someone to settle down with, but when you meet somebody that's the person, it just all clicks into place, and I wouldn't change a thing.
I wonder if the Strictly experience has been fabulous for her. Has she enjoyed all the glamour and the TV of it?
Well, she did, but she was just as nervous as me. She went the first night and she said never again. She's not going to go.
You've played the Royal Albert Hall, you've played the biggest venues in the world, yet this terrified you. Was it the live TV element that was the most scary?
I don't know. I really can't put my finger on what it was that made me so nervous on Strictly. I suppose it was the fact of going out and trying to remember the steps and sometimes forgetting them, which I did. A couple of nights I forgot them, especially in the dance-off when I went, when I was voted off on the last night. Did the dance on the night fine, I thought, and then in the dance-off I just forgot everything. But I was relieved in a way because I knew that I wouldn't have the nerves anymore. And my sadness has not been with all the people that was involved.
Well, they've all said the same about you. I don't know whether you've had a chance to see that YouTube video of all the other contestants singing your praises, but it's a beautiful tribute to you as a human being because they were all genuinely sad. I don't think that's necessarily always the case because there are some egos on that show, aren't there?
Well, this year, no. This year, there's definitely not.
Right.
There is absolutely nobody in that group that I wouldn't want to sit down with at any point. And I think everybody feels the same about everybody else.
I think that says more about you, though, and the person you are. We spoke last year, of course, this Cliff Richard story in here. It was great to see you at his event for his birthday, 75 years old. It's still staggering, isn't it, that this is lingering on, but what a tribute to his fans that he's come out this year fighting and had this remarkable tour.
Oh, it was a tremendous. I went on his birthday, and then I went on the last night on the Sunday, and it was tremendous. Tremendous to see him do what he does in the way that he does it, and to see the love that his fans, I being one of them, have for him.
You're very similar as artists. You have the same dedicated fans that will queue up, line up, and beg for that front row. You do. I mean, it's extraordinary that the similarities between your fans.
Well, the fans are everything, really. They really are, and they have been so supportive for me through the years. And, with all the albums, I mean, we've had 27 years of albums in the charts. Whether this is going to be 28 or not, who knows? But whatever, if my career ended now, I could never ask for another day, other than I hope I do have many, many more shows. We're going to tour next, starting in September in the UK. We start in Ireland in August, but we'll tour quite a number of places in September here in the UK. Next year, the tickets will go on sale, and I think it's the 14th of November. The tickets go on sale. I don't know if that's a Saturday or not, but I think it's the 14th that rings a bell to me.
It's always my great pleasure to talk to you. Daniel O'Donnell's new album, the Hank Williams Songbook, is out now. Thanks for talking to me again, and we'll talk next year.
A pleasure, and good luck to you.